Hey guys, good morning. Welcome back to Make It Work Monday. Today we're going to be looking at Wakelet. And so we're first going to start talking about why we should Wakelet or why we could have students Wakelet. Then we will take a look at some examples of some Wakelets so you can get an idea of how you might use it. Then we'll show you how to create a Wakelet. And finally, I'll talk a little bit about integrating Wakelet in Canvas. But before we get started too far, I do want to give a little poll. So go ahead and answer that question that should be up on your screen. Those of you who are just coming in, there is a poll up on the screen, so go ahead and take it. For those of you who it's your first Make It Work Monday, welcome. I'm Katie Fielding. I'm a tech coach in Virginia and Prince William County Schools. And today we're going to be talking about Wakelet. At the end of the session, I will be putting a link for a certificate. So this isn't go in our district's ERO, but I am making it so you can get a certificate. Remember, the only way we'll know that you've been here is if you fill that out. So you can't ask for one later. So just fill out today when I provide you the link. All right, so it looks like most people here have never used Wakelet. So we should have a lot of new information, a lot of new users, and hopefully this is a tool that you guys can get excited about. Oh. All right. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is why we could be Wakeletting. And as you know, or hopefully I shared in the chat, you can always find the resources for today's session at makeitwork.itcsforall.com. I just put that in the chat, and that will take you to this Wakelet of resources. So for all the past sessions that I've done this summer on Canva, and then screencasting, and then Nearpod last week, and now this week we're on Wakelet. So all the resources are there. This is, the first link is a link to my Wakelet. So you can actually follow other educators on Wakelet. So this will take you to my profile and you can start following me. For those of you who are in my district, Prince William County, you'll see a lot of Wakelets that you'll be able to share with your students. So showing them how to access a lot of the things we have in Prince William County, like Canvas, Student View, Naviance, how to use Immersive Reader, etc. So that's linked in the Wakelet, and then also very Inception-like, a Wakelet to Wakelets. So that will take you to the Wakelet I've made with all the resources you might want for Wakelet. All right, yeah, so that is there. That's the Wakelets that I made. And so it leads you all through the process of how to make a Wakelet, how to log in, etc. One of the things that I have linked is Surf School. So that's a resource that Wakelet has created. And it just talks about some ways that you could use Wakelet. So Wakelet, you can use it for personal use. It's kind of like, some people kind of talk about it like Pinterest, but I think it's better than Pinterest in my opinion. So you can use it to collect resources. You could use it for personal PD if you're trying to collect links that you go to often to learn more about like remote teaching maybe for the fall. That could be a great use for it. Some people use it for lesson planning. So if I click this, you can see how this teacher has used it for lesson planning as an example. Let's see, it's taking a minute to load, of course. So you can see okay. Well, it didn't want to, oh, there it is. Oh, of course, after I showed it. And then obviously you could also use it to create a portfolio of your educational work. So if you were maybe applying to be an ITC, this could be a great way to collect your work and share it with someone else. For sharing with students, it can be great for sharing content. So just sharing resources. So you can make a resource page with Wakelet. What's really nice about Wakelet is how easy it is to change it and update it. So if I was running a class in the fall in Canvas, I might not put all of my resources actually in Canvas. I might make a Wakelet that I can easily change and add to and embed that into Canvas, which I'll show you later. You can make it a resource to share with other teachers. So your like CLT or your PLN, you can make a Wakelet and collaborate on that and gather resources for something. So maybe if your CLT is creating a sandbox course together, you could use Wakelet to collect all the resources that you might want to share with students to have one common place. So you don't have a ton of emails going back and forth. Newsletters. So if I was running a Canvas class this fall, I would probably have a section for parents and, you know, to communicate with parents, because that's going to be a really key part if we are remote. And newsletters, the really great thing about Wakelet is immersive reader is built in. So those parents, if they're, you know, speaking another language at home, they can easily translate your newsletter into the language of their choice. So that could be a really nice use for it. And interactive lessons. So something like a breakout EDU, you can basically kind of build your own in a Wakelet. And then you can also use Wakelet for class collaboration. I'll show you how you can do that, how you can create a Wakelet and share it with students so they can add to it without actually having to log in. So you can make it, provide students a link where they can contribute and they never have to log in and make an account. So that's really great for students. And then also some ways students could use this as well. So this is a really great page, and that's linked to you in the Wakelet. Also, Wakelet has a great educator community. I put that link in where you can join the community and get emails and participate in things and learn more about Wakelet. All right, so again, my profile, hopefully it will have a lot of useful Wakelets for you to follow and look at. But let's take a look at how to make a Wakelet. So when you log in, and I recommend you just log in with your Office 365 account. There's a Microsoft button, or if you can prefer, if you want to use Google, you can do that as well. And when you log in, you'll see this is your dashboard, and you'll have a green button that says create a new collection. So all you have to do to start a new collection is click this. You can add a cover image, you can upload an image, or you can choose one from the library that they have. So I'm going to choose one from the library. And let's just say that we're talking about climate change. So here we go. I got some images, climate change. That's now my cover photo. All right. I'm going to say climate change politics, because this image is a little political. Politics. There we go. And then I can add a subheading if I want. And then I click this green plus sign, and I can add all of these kinds of content. So I can add a URL. I can paste text. And again, or just add text. Don't know why it's doing that. All right. I can add a YouTube video. So if I have a link to a YouTube video, I can easily add that. Tweets, if there is someone, a user name, maybe you wanted to say Obama. Let's find him. Well, I have to know his username. Well, I could look at mine, KDF. All right, so I can find all of the tweets that I've made, and I could add those tweets to a Wakelet, or I can search and just say climate change. And now I can add these tweets. You know, if I wanted to add this tweet, I would add it, and now it will be part of my Wakelet. Let's say done. All right. Where is it? Wakelet was having some issues this weekend saving. So I wonder if they're having those again. Okay, well. All right. You can also add bookmarks, images you can upload. Upload a PDF, something for your Google Drive, OneDrive, or a Flipgrid video. in the chat, I said, if free, it's believe if you just use your PWCS email. Yes, teachers can use this with their PWCS email. It is not on the approved list for students. So that's where I'm going to show you the way you can create a link where they don't even need a login to add to the Wakelet. Yeah. So these are all the types of things that you can add to your collection. Let me add a cover image one more time. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Let's say saving. Ideally, you're going to add something. Usually it just populates right away. This weekend when I was adding some stuff, they were having some, I think, server issues. So maybe that's happening again. After you add all of your stuff to the Wakelet, you get to decide if it's public, unlisted, or private. So public means anyone on the internet can see it. Unlisted means only the people that you give a link are able to see it. And private means that only you're able to see it. So you get to decide, you know, if you're planning your wedding, maybe that's the private one. You know, those hidden Pinterest boards. Unlisted, maybe it's just for your students, but you don't want everyone in the world to find it. Or maybe if it's a PD thing and you're wanting it to open to the world, you'll want to share it with everyone. So this seems to be having some saving issues. So I'm going to close it. Here we go. Just imagine that I made a Wakelet. Now, if I want to share it with my students, I can just, if I want to share it just for them to view, I'm going to click that share button. And I'm going to copy this link. If I want to put this in Canvas, I'm going to go to where it says Embed. I'm going to click this and I'm going to copy this embed code. And then when I go over to Canvas and I make, let's just say I make a page and I want to put it inside. Okay, so I'm making a page. It can go anywhere you have a rich content editor box. So remember this box here is the rich content editor. Anywhere I have that, I'm going to click the little rich text, like switching to the HTML side. I'm going to paste that code. And when I switch back, you'll see the Wakelet is embedded. And when I press save, you'll see that it will take up, it will be wider than it looks right now. It will be centered on the page. So again, this is a really nice way to share resources with your students. I go and change the Wakelet and it will update here. So if you're sharing resources like in 5 different classes, you can just, you know, embed this at the beginning, and as you update it, it will update for all 5 classes. So that's how you can embed it into Canvas. Now, if I want to share this with my students and I want them to edit it, I'm going to instead click invite. And I'm going to copy this link for them. And I would just paste that link into your Canvas classroom. And then if they click on it, they get this code that's already in the link and they'll be able to edit it. So let me show you what that looks like. So copy the link. I'm going to open a guest window in my Chrome. Okay. Can you guys see the guest window?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, so when I go to the guest window with that link that I just pasted, it will take a minute to load, but you'll see I can add my name. So now I'm the student, I can just put Katie, and I could put my last initial, and then now I can add to this Wakelet. So what you as the teacher need to do is you need to start the board, maybe you just give it the title, and then you share that link with whoever in that group you want to contribute to that Wakelet. You'll see they have to put their name in, so you'll know who contributed what to the board. Are there any questions about that? So they don't need any account to contribute to the board as long as you share it that way. And you'll see they can't add people. They can only share the link, so they can't add additional people to their board. Only you as the inviter can add them. All right. All right, so that is sharing a Wakelet, inviting students to a Wakelet. What questions do you guys have?
I'm not familiar with the guest window in Chrome. Is that like an incognito tab?
Yeah, exactly. So if
Okay.
you have multiple Chrome accounts, you can see that I have many different Chrome accounts. So if I have multiple, if you have like 3 kids at home, all right, you may want to use multiple other people. So you would just say add, and then you could add, you know, kid number 1. You add another kid, add, and then no one is in anyone's window. You don't have to log out and log back in for different Google accounts.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions? Questions about Wakelet?
Katie, is there a way on Wakelet to see like a list of the contributors? Like if I shared it with students, instead of having to like click on each of their contributions?
You will just see their name right below their contribution. So if
Okay,
this was like not made all by me, you would see like KDF right here.
Okay, so if I was gonna like give them like, I don't know, keep track of their participation, I'd have to like.
You'd have to look at it.
Through. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So if I wanted to have students use this as like a group, when they do group projects to dump all of their resources, they can share that with me and with each other.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. You would be the owner of the board because you're creating the board. They don't have to share anything with you. You just have to share that invite link with them, and then they'll put their stuff on the board.
And then that makes me able to view their sources and give feedback that way.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep. Yep. So let's see where it was. One of the things. Here we go. Why Wakelet? One of the things I have is why do we want kids to be doing this? Like curation is like a huge thing in education and actually a huge job skill right now. So curation and having students really understand resources, of course, like resource validity. This is a great tool. If you guys remember back, I went to high school in the 90s and you did your research paper and you had your manila envelope with your note cards that you paper clipped to it. Did any of you guys have that or remember that?
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah, this is the modern day, like manila folder of your resources. It's a great way to, you know, they can put their resource and then below it, they can add type and text and then like do all that note taking from that resource. So this would be a great way to do that. There is no limit. Wakelet is completely free for educators. You can make as many Wakelets as you desire. Is Wakelet in our navigation list or do you find it in the Commons? I don't believe it's not in the Commons. It's not in Canvas. This is not a Canvas product. Just go to wakelet.com and you can log in with your Office 365 account. So if I go, let's see, log out. If I was to just be coming to Wakelet for the first time, I would want to log in with my Office 365 account. Okay, let's just go. Yeah, so when I would come here, if it's my first time, I would sign up and you'll see that the option for login with your Microsoft is there, and that's what I would choose to do. Now, hopefully we could get this on the approved list of software. It's not currently, and then students could do the same thing, but it's currently not. So the way to have students do it is definitely through that invite link without making a profile. Any other questions? All right, today was a quick one. So let me get the link to the certificate. I will be putting that in the chat. Remember to complete that if you want to get a certificate. All right, there you go. Thanks for coming today, guys, and I'll be lingering if anyone has questions. If you have questions, just feel free to chime in and say hello. No problem. Thanks for coming today. Yeah, the recording will be up later for viewing. Yes.